Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
Put the barrage! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Wash has found 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here. Dynamic team gets a 4-man tire.
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
100 gets 3 with the Primal Rage.
Experience tranquility.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else in between, good evening and welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 coverage. Tonight, we wrap up the 4th week of Stage 1 with our Discord tier feature match, where the undefeated Oreo fleet try to keep their streak alive against the hungry Hammerhead Esports. Are we going to need a bigger boat tonight, or is this fleet going to sail with ease? My name is Bowsy, and I'm joined here by Capital on the cast and Laggyson on the production. Capital, how are you doing today?
Honestly, I'm doing great. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's been good overall so far. I've got to celebrate my heritage with that, but overall, Oreo Fleet, Hammerhead, super excited to see this naval battle go down. Oreo Fleet, I know a lot of the people on that team. Should be super fun. Hammerhead, don't know too much about them, but I'm excited to see them play. It should be a really good game.
Yeah, definitely. One team is going to definitely get the luck of the Irish here tonight. It's going to be interesting to see which one it will be. What team's going to be coming out on top here? Again, as I mentioned, these two teams, very different seasons thus far. Oreo Fleet are currently undefeated, winning against Redacted, Poseidon, and Alt F4. Hammerhead, on the other hand, still looking for that first win after losing to Space Created, Alt F4, and Redacted. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two face off, and either one team is going to continue their winless streak, or one team is going to be getting their first win in Tranquility.
Yeah, honestly, these seasons have gone very different for both of these teams. I'm really looking for Hammerhead to try and make that statement for that turnaround. Week 3, things have started to settle in on where people are and how teams have been playing, and this is where you start. There's 5 games left till playoffs. As crazy as that sounds, you have 5 games left, and that's 6 weeks from now.
Yeah,
So
definitely. It's going to be interesting to see. We're waiting on the match to start up here, and again, this could really determine everything in terms of seeding. This is a very tightly contested group here in Discord Indigo B, so this match could determine who's going to be going on to A group, B group, and the elimination group come stage number 2, which obviously that's how we work through that. We're waiting on the match to start, but it's worth noting that when we get into the match, our first map will be Busan, which is the weekly map choice for this week. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams decide to bring out what comps they decide to bring out for that map here, Capital.
yeah, for Busan, knowing, again, I don't really know a lot of Hammerhead Esports. I haven't watched a lot on them, but I know that I think they're more towards that Brawl side of the team. They have a pretty good Lucio player. And then overall, at least on the Oreo Fleet side, I know Cool Steve is a really, really good flex support. On Ya, 2 seasons is back on that really good team with Sensa, who's on main tank now. Blind did a great hit scan concept, really great on that flanker, on that tracer role. So I do expect maybe like a ball type of combo on this, like Busan Sanctuary, but I really could see this Brawl going back and forth as well.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting. And also, it is worth noting that Oreo Fleet do have one big veteran player. You've already mentioned Cool Steve or some other people in that. Biggest player I'm looking at right now, Season 7 champion Concept. Did not join SEAL Team Spuds or any sort of related org. They went to Oreo Fleet. And it's very interesting because Concept is really the only sort of champion that went to Oreo Fleet, combined with Blinded, who I believe played for Nya last week. That's a devastating DPS duo for Oreo Fleet here.
Yeah, Concept, I love Concept. Concept's I just love Concept. You can't hate Concept. But yeah, I mean, Jungkook being Sensa used to go by, it was on that semifinals team for Season 5 Harmonies here for JPC. Blinded just played on JPC last season. Cool Steve, I think, was the finals team for Nya. I don't really know a lot about Mr. Oreo Man, who's on the main support, and Geomancer, but I expect this team, I mean, they're 3-0, what else can you expect? And I think Greninja is in the wings coaching them, and Greninja has great coaching chops as well with JPC Season 5 and Season 6, as well as now playing on Battalion and Transtier.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be getting started here again very soon. We're waiting for some of the teams to get ready. We ended up having someone have to take a bio break before the match started, which, you know, it's better to do it before the match starts than to do it during the match, because you never know what can happen during the match. You know, a Reaper could come down and destroy your entire team with a Death Blossom. You could get hit by a D.Va Bomb that you didn't expect coming. You can get hit by a 6-man EMP. Well, there are a lot of sort of situations where you could, you know, accidentally do business during a match, but we're going to be getting in here very soon. It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams face off and which team's going to be able to come out in the aftermath.
Yeah, another thing to add for Hammerhead Esports, at least, from another one of their players, Mick11. I've actually seen him comp a few times. Pretty much a menace, like, overall. So I'm really excited for that DPS lineup between Concept and Mick11. That duel is one of the things that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely. It's also worth noting that while Hammerhead are undefeated this season, they have taken maps off of 2 like pretty good teams thus far. They took maps off of Alt F4, they took them to a map 5, and they also took maps off of Space Created, who is currently the only other undefeated team thus far in this group. So don't count out Hammerhead. They could definitely make an impact here. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to be able to do it. But we are going to be getting started here on Busan very shortly. It's going to be interesting to see what the teams decide to roll out with here as we start on Busan Sanctuary. The comps right now, definitely looking different on both sides.
Yeah, so you have Hammerhead on this more traditional 6-man, which I actually do like a lot more with this. Yummy Mac on this Lucio, I think Yummy Mac is really, really good on Lucio. Nick Levin on the Sombra, really that swinging role and that DPS. But then, by my surprise at least, I was expecting more Blinded Ash Concept Tracer, but it's Concept on Hanzo, another one of his pocket picks, and Blinded on that Tracer. So I think they're gonna have a lot of trouble being condensed up as. So I would take the line for Hammerhead with the comp advantage.
So here we go, coming out of the spawn gates right now, Hammerhead with the 6-man dive composition, stock standard, pretty much tried and true. Oreo Fleet running this very weird spam composition. We'll see which team is able to get the advantage, as no team going straight for the drum right now. As I say that, Oreo Fleet going straight for that drum. Big hook coming out from Jungkook, being able to get that hook onto the Diva of Killjoy. Unable to get the Diva, you know, that's a really bad Killjoy, but still, Hammerhead Esports having a little bit of trouble, and Oreo Fleet getting the control at this point. Beautiful hook from Jungkook, unable to get the kill, but Concept gets that first pick off onto McLovin on the Sombra. So that's going to be a little bit of struggle here for Hammerhead, as it will be Oreo Fleet taking the first point. If Blind gets that kill into Stoicism, I think this has to be a retreat here to the side of Hammerhead.
Yeah, Hammerhead, what they're looking to try to do is trying to condense that Bap Zen backline with no protection at all. They have this Hog that's taking an off angle, getting those picks, and Concept and Blinded are looking to take as many angles as possible to pick apart this 6-man dive. The biggest thing Hammerhead needs to do right now is be pathing a lot more through closed spaces and trying to avoid, again, these Hog hooks from Jungkook is to make advances onto that backline. As soon as they get on that backline, that fight can really easily be won.
Yeah, we might end up calling Jungkook Sensa later on as the match goes on, because obviously he changed the name. But we'll see. Definitely will be interesting to see how Jungkook does. Hammerhead don't notice that Jungkook is in their backline, and that's going to cost them. Big pulse bomb coming out from Blind against Stoicism and Killjoy out of the mech. And that's already going to be a one fight there for Oreo Fleet. They're doing really good thus far.
Yeah, really, really quick fight, taking that advantage. A lot of that tempo coming out, which is what they're going to need. Even with the spam comp, being able to dictate where and how you take those fights is really important against Brawl. And they're starting off, like, really showing that confidence of this 3-0 team. I think they're looking great. The biggest thing that I would say is maybe on the 6-man, which they're not switching off of to mirror, per se, but getting that Tracer flanker, which they just switched off to pressure this Babzen backline with the Sombra.
It'll be interesting to see how they decide to do, having this same tank line, but with the Sombra Tracer for more dive-oriented style. Concept's going to start off the fight with that Dragon Strike, able to just separate the members of Hammerhead and make it so the push takes a little bit more time. McLovin setting up for that good hack, gets the hack onto Mr. Oreo Man, but no follow-up there from Hammerhead right now. They're just taking their patience, waiting for the perfect opportunity to push. Jungkook falls very low there on the Road Dogg, but is able to survive. Windows invested for Mr. Oreo Man, and that's already 2 picks in favor of Oreo Fleet right now. McLovin and Killjoy now dead. Take out Yummy Mac as well, and now the fight once again going in favor here of Oreo Fleet, and they're already at 90% here, Capital. They pretty much have won this point.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to think of these two maps, I think Busan Sanctuary probably would be the most favored for Oreo Fleet with how they play. I think they play a lot slower, a lot more spammy, and this open map really benefits them. Whereas I think these next 2 points are going to be a lot harder for them to be running this comp, and I think Hammerhead can really close the gap on these next 2 a lot easier as well.
As I say, the Hammerhead trying to come back in, but the picks are going in favor here for Oreo Fleet. Jungkook gets the kill onto Killjoy, and Concept gets the kill onto Stoicism. The members of Hammerhead falling one by one. The rower won't be able to touch the point, and that's going to be Busan Sanctuary going in favor of Oreo Fleet, 100-0, already making a statement thus far.
Yeah, I mean, Oreo Fleet, they're going to come out strong. Jungkook, Concept, Blinded, all looked great so far. I mean, those veterans are really showing how they've honed their craft here in Trank. Hammerhead a bit newer to the community. I think here they can determine how great their season is going to go. As weird as that is to say, this 1 point means a lot. How are they going to bounce back from being 100-0 against a great team? They have Oreo Fleet coming up, and they've already played 2 harder teams. They have an easier match next week compared to Oreo Fleet, who is 3-0 right now. Oreo Fleet having space created next week. This is a real turning point, as weird as it is to say, and as 1 point. I think this needs to be a make or break for them, honestly.
Now we head over to Busan Mecha Base, the Brawl map here. We do see some interesting comps. Oreo Fleet switching to the Sigma Symmetra May, while the side of Hammerhead, they're running that stock standard Brawl, the Cassidy May Diva. So interesting to see who gets the advantage. Big wall coming out from McLovin, trying to separate the members here of Oreo Fleet. And APG gets the first pickup onto Jungkook. Make that 2. Both tanks now dead for the side of Oreo Fleet as Hammerhead start trying to bring themselves into this fight. Killjoy gets the kill on the Concept, and the fight just goes in favor here of Hammerhead. They probably will be able to get the first cap here on Busan Mecha Base.
Yeah, and APG really showing off that Cassidy, like really strong off the beginning. And this brawl plays a lot more towards the strengths of what they want to do. And now here comes the mirror from Oreo Fleet, and I'm excited to see how they're looking to take this advantage on this brawl. How they're looking to dictate the tempo and play each fight how they want to.
Yeah, definitely. Now the mirror matchup and the stock standard brawl coming out here for the side of Oreo Fleet. We'll see what they decide to go here for here. What Papa decide to go. Decide to go up to the high ground. They're starting to make the move in. Big wall coming in again from McLovin, but doesn't look like it got any picks thus far. As Hammerhead just try to retreat. Try to go back to the point. Go back to your safe haven. As here comes the advantage from the side of Oreo Fleet. And Blinded finds the big pick on the Yummy Mac. The shatter from Jungkook is a whip up. Blinded has already found 2 in this fight on the Cassidy. Trying to bring it back here to the side of Oreo Fleet. Make that 3 almost, but still the kills are going in favor here for Oreo Fleet, and they will be winning this fight with that 3K from Jungkook.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, Blinded and Jungkook putting in the work there. Jungkook already 50% back up to a shatter after using it at the beginning of that fight. Again, the ults are coming out first from Oreo Fleet, and you can see that in the tempo of how they're looking to push the enemy team. Big thing there, they kind of just let them out. What Hammerhead needs to do is use these ults first and take those fights first.
Ooh, big wall coming out from Concept, but another big wall from McLovin to make sure that wall doesn't get any value. Deadeye is used here from Blinded, and APG uses their Deadeye, but the rower dies in the hands of Concept after using that shatter. Hammerhead Esports looking kind of rough here, and it looks like Oreo Fleet will be able to hold them here on the defense once again.
Yeah, I think that shadow was a great use in that window, or that high noon rather, was a great use of like ults to take that space, but they need to invest more. They have 3 ults on the board. They need to start taking these fights, but it is 40-40. I think this next fight really is the big one.
And the big thing is Geomancer does not have their mech back yet, so Hammerhead have a free Blizzard here if McLovin invests it. So see if it gets used here. Oh, a lot of studs going on to Jungkook. Still stays alive, however, the Immortality Field is invested. Bomb comes out here from Killjoy. So does the Blizzard coming out from McLovin. And the rest of Oreo Fleet starting to get frozen up. The rower getting her in right now on that. Reinhardt gets 3 thanks to the Blizzard. And a beautiful headshot from McLovin will end the fight here for Hammerhead. They will be able to take this point back, with around 70% taken here for the side of Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, I really did like how they took that fight with that with the bomb, especially how they threw it in after escaping the Blizzard, just to make that space a little harder. And then McLovin kind of can throw the Blizzard in after Geomancer didn't have that mech. They played that fight really well, but again, the ults, they're coming out first for Oreo Fleet. I think it's really important, especially in that brawl. But I mean, right now this is where they hold. This is where Hammerhead takes their mark.
Oh, and Jungkook tried to go for the shatter around the corner, but the wall from McLovin and the window from Stoicism eliminated that Reinhardt immediately. It's going to be a reset once again here for the side of Oreo Fleet as Hammerhead get the hold here. They're entering last fight territory.
Yeah, and that window popped up really early, and I love to see that. I think Hammerhead's starting to get into their groove, and I think this is where they're supposed to be.
Why did you use the Deadeye so that Oreo Fleet can start pushing into the point here? Try to get any kills. Unable to get anything with it. The E from Killjoy was there, but the bomb comes out here from Geomancer. Unable to get anything. Gets rid of Stoicism, the Mortality Field, but APG is now dead to Blinded. And Oreo Fleet's going to be able to get the swap here. But the rower comes down, hits the shatter from the high ground, and gets boomed off by Jungkook's own charge. Oh, you don't see that every day. And still, Oreo Fleet getting the kills that they need here, and they're going to be able to continue capping this point. And now it's desperation for Hammerhead.
Yeah, the big problem there was that the point had turned mid-fight there, so they didn't contest, and now this fight is going to be very staggered and very like drawn out, which is, they don't want to. That's a huge first pick for Mr. Oreo Man as well.
Definitely a big pick. McLovin won't be a part of this fight, and barely overtime is triggered here for Hammerhead, but that Blizzard from Concept already eliminating several targets. All that's left is Killjoy on the point, and they do not have any sort of bomb, any sort of sustainability to keep themselves aligned. That's going to be Oreo Fleet winning here on Busan as Jungkook just charges himself on the map. You know, assert that main tank dominance. You've already caused your opposing Reinhardt to be charged off the map. Just charge yourself off the map after the map is over.
Yeah, and Concept with the play of the game here. Concept's main play really impressed me here on this map, taking a lot of initiative with the Blizzards here, and you can see it in this stalled out fight, really making that difference with the stalls. Again, the biggest thing here I think was just using those ults first in those early fights. But overall, I think that brawl was really similar and really close compared to that first map. I think they can bounce back, play some maps that they choose, with Hammerhead being able to choose the next map. I definitely can see them taking a map and bringing this a really close series and winning it out in the next 3 even.
Yeah, definitely. Brawl looks like a strong point of Hammerhead right now, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide to choose for this next map. If they decide to go for a map that favors more Brawl, if they want to try to go for something like Volsky Industries, which really doesn't promote that Brawl, promotes more of a double shield approach, doesn't promote that sort of Sim TP style that we've seen on most maps. Be interesting to see what they decide to pick here because it really is up in the air. Hammerhead have the map advantage, and so far they've shown that they can, again, they can contest with a top team here at Indigo B. It's just going to be a factor of if they're going to be able to bring them all the way, if they're going to be able to take any sort of maps on them. Reminder, the first time they lost the first time they didn't take a map was last week up against Redacted, which was the team that got reverse swept twice before they ended up playing them. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to go for here and what map they decide to choose. Right now, we already have their choice. Hammerhead are choosing Hanamura, which is the stock standard Brawl map of the two CP maps.
Yeah, and going back to those Indigo B standings, I think you can really see those three have been split. So Redacted has 2 losses currently. They're 1-2, beating Hammerhead, but only being reverse swept twice by 3-0 Oreo Fleet and 3-0 Space Created. They have their match. They had their match this week, I believe,
Poseidon.
Against Poseidon in one, and they have Ulta 4 next week as well. So Hammerhead, with a win here, would really put themselves in a great position to be in V pool. While Oreo Fleet with a win here would really cement themselves in that A, even with the next week against Space Created, who's also 4-0, the match wouldn't matter. Other than seeding, of course, going into Group B.
Yeah, definitely. So it'll be interesting to see how Oreo Fleet decide to go against this, if they're going to be able to get that win, because this win could be crucial for them getting into A group. But we're going to be heading into Hanamura here, our second map in the series. Hammerhead will be on the attack first, Oreo Fleet on the defense. It'll be interesting to see what these two teams come out with. Obviously, we saw a lot of strength when Hammerhead were on that Brawl composition. Do they stick with the Brawl? Do they go for that Sim TP straight to the point? Or do they try something different and try to throw off Oreo Fleet? That is the question that we need to know. So we're going to be getting into the map here soon. We're going to be seeing the compositions, and we'll see what the plan is here from both of these teams. As Oreo Fleet, again, will be on the defense first. So we'll be able to see what they're truly going to be running first.
Yeah, so Jungkook on the Teresa, they're on this double shield, blinded on the Soldier, and Concept on this Hanzo to start off. This Babzan, again, a pretty greedy backline, but this D.Va makes it a bit more manageable, and maybe they haven't gone out of spawn yet, but it looks like it's going to be a stock standard Sim Brawl with TB on Hanamura, which is the usual. But, I mean, Concept on Genji, love Concept on Genji, his pocket pick, also Tracer, Hanzo, and Genji, those are his 3 heroes, so, I mean, they can make it work. I'm excited to see how that would happen, but, I mean, again, like, this Zarya pick then, like, there's so many counter pick changes here, but, I mean, if they stick with the Zarya, it's gonna be hard for Genji to get value.
Yeah, definitely be interesting to see how Concept able to get value. Blinded, we're sorry, we had to put that out on live camera, but Hammerhead coming out here with the Sim Brawl, except with the Zarya, which is interesting. We're going back to like 2019 or 2020 Brawl when people thought Sim was actually good. They're gonna be teleporting up to the high ground, just barely make it up there to try and contest the rest of the team, and Hammerhead now taking this left side approach to get into the point. This is typical. This is one of the many approaches you can get to the point, and it makes sense because Oreo Fleet are running this double shield composition on the point. Very aggressive move from the rower, trying to get any sort of backline picks there for the side of Oreo Fleet, but right now Hammerhead setting up at this point, but Geomancer finds that first big pick onto APG. Loses their mech in the process, however, so it still might be winnable here for Hammerhead, but they've lost Stoicism. That's already your main heals out of the fight, and just like that, Oreo Fleet gonna win the fight.
Yeah, so the big thing I'm seeing here with what Oreo Fleet wants to do is they want to be taking really, really long fights and looking to take lots of angles. While the side of Hammerhead is going to be looking to take a lot of shorter fight. The Zarya, the Sim is going to get built up their beams, and then they're going to go off, right? So the rower taking that really aggressive aid not only gives them charge, but also gets into that Zen's greedy backline. Concept's going to have a lot of trouble getting value against this Reinhardt swinging, this Mei freezing, and the Sim and Zarya beams. The Genji, while this pick usually would work, I think they're running into a lot of hardness here.
TP now for the right side here for Hammerhead as Concept tries to dash into the team to get that early kill. Already an early Immortality Field invested here from Stoicism, and it will cost them their life. Cool Steve gets the kill onto that. Make that 2 for Cool Steve in this fight. Now it's even thus far. Hammerhead able to get 2 picks onto Jungkook and Mr. Oreo Man, but Concept starts dashing through the enemy team just like a reindeer. That's going to be Concept winning out that fight here for Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, I mean, that's where Genji thrives. You want to be taking... Genji's whole point is to thrive in that late fight, clean up those picks, and that's exactly what they're doing. Blinded's doing a really, really good job of putting a lot of damage on early, so Concept can get value into that late fight. What I want to see coming up here now is, as this Blizzard comes up, as this Sim Wall comes up, what are they going to be able to do to take elongated fights against that, and just keep you straight to the point?
Yeah, that's a big wall coming out from McLovin as well to deny that access here for the side of Oreo Fleet. And Blinded stuck on the wrong side of the road, just barely able to get out there with that soldier. Bomb invested from Geomancer doesn't get anything, but actually, no, it does get APG. I lied. It was actually just for Mech Reset, I believe. And Blinded now using the Tactical Visor, able to get 2, and the rest of the cleanup is there from Oreo Fleet. Another lost fight here for Hammerhead.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing there, you can't really get picked there. APG is the win con in that composition. You have a huge wall to work off of, and you still get picked off by that Diva Bomb. The biggest, the awareness something must have been happening there. Maybe some mom was in the room, but the biggest, that's something that as a Discord tier player is a big fight swinger. And they have Blizzard and Shadow here, so they definitely can win this next fight.
Ooh, the TP bait now. They're not going for the TP. Instead, they're going to be going up to the top right here for Hammerhead. Try to scout out Blinded, who was up there all alone. Be interesting to see what they decide to do, how they're able to get through this. So Hammerhead now have this high ground control away from Oreo Fleet. Now they start to make their way back to the point. Blizzard's invested here from McLovin, and it gets 2 frozen, including Cool Stu, who couldn't get that Transcendence out. Already 2 big picks. Make that 3 thus far for Hammerhead Esports as they start taking up the percentage here. Concept, I don't think would want to invest this blade here, as it's pretty much a lost fight here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Is Hammerhead. Looks like they're going to be able to take the first point here on Hanamura, assuming they're able to clean up these picks.
Yeah, and from McLovin, again, huge Blizzard there, really won them that, getting onto that greedy backline of Cool Steve Zen. Again, Brig there would have been super helpful. You could have bashed out and saved more, but here they are taking this second fight super quick. That's how you want to be using this ball.
That's the main thing. They want to try to take these fights quick, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Just pile right onto Jungkook here. The Transcendence now invested here from Cool Steve. The Blade comes out here from Concept, able to get the kill on APG. The Shatter is invested as well from the Rower. Concept gets a second now with that Blade, trying to get every sort of kill he can and be able to win this fight here for Oreo Fleet. Looks like Oreo Fleet indeed will win this fight, getting those final kills on the Hammerhead. Another reset for Hammerhead Esports.
Yeah, and that Blade was massive. They really cut that momentum in half. They wanted to be taking that fight super, super quick, and running into that Blade is just running into a buzzsaw. I want to see if Concept's going to switch here, if they're going to stay this Genji. Blinded on the Soldier, now going to be coming up with this Tactical Visor, with this Bongo, and I think that's going to be really hard for this brawl with the Sim to get through, especially with very little high ground presence, other than this Diva, maybe this Lucio and Baptiste. We really don't want to be charging that Visor, but I want to see how they're going to be taking this fight. Again, it's going to come down to pathing and how they're going to condense this backline, Bap, Zen, Orisa, Diva, so they can get into a good brawling position.
Also going to be interesting to see how they use the teleporter from APG. It looks like they want to try to teleport onto the high ground or teleport main here, and that's probably what they're going to be doing. They're probably going to be teleporting through the main passageway. Or they're looking for the perfect TP. Nope, they're just going to be running right through. So, it'll be interesting to see. They're just running right through there. They're obviously baiting a teleporter attempt. Here comes the Tactical Visor out here from Blinded. The wall also out from APG and McLovin, trying to bring themselves into it. But Cool Steve gets that first kill onto McLovin. Bomb comes out here from Geomancer, unable to get anything. And now there's 3 kills in favor here for the side of Hammerhead. And Killjoy's bomb is able to get blinded. That is big here. All that's left is Geomancer on the Diva. They will be unable to touch so that Hammerhead can get that first tick here. And Hammerhead's ticks just ticking up right now. They're barely able to bring it up to 91%, but this contest is there from Jungkook and Geomancer, but Jungkook will die immediately to the Rower, and it looks like Hammerhead looking really good thus far. Blade's back up here from Concept, however, so good to the ties, but that big Blade, that big B coming out from Yummy Max saves the point there for Hammerhead. The Transcendence also invested from Cool Steve, unable to get anything, and it looks like with that, Hammerhead just barely able to winning this, or just have to clean up all the rest of these picks, including that pesky Tracer from Blinded, and they will be winning this second point here on Hanamura, and we'll be bringing ourselves into the attack here, or putting ourselves in a great position here. And there you go. Hammerhead get the second point with 1 minute and 11 seconds in the time bank.
Yeah, I mean, Yummy Mac, really great patience there, holding that beat there. You're thinking, oh wow, we have the fight won. We're already during these stally points. You're like, oh wow, I could just use beat just for willy nilly, and really great job saving that, honestly, for Concept Blade, which really could have been a fight swinger, could have saved that fight for them. But that gets them over a minute as well. This puts themselves, yeah, again, like you said, Bowsy, a great position to win this map, and I'm excited. This series looks like it's gonna go far.
Definitely. And it'll be interesting to see what the response is here from Oreo Fleet. They do get their attack round here, so we'll see what they decide to go on the attack. Do they go for that Sim TP Brawl, which we did see a little bit of when we were on Busan Mecha Base, so we'll see if they decide to pull it out here. Okay, blinded on the Widowmaker is not what I expected, but I'm guessing this is just because they're messing around. But on the side of Hammerhead, running the double shield composition, so obviously they want to try to go for a more stabilized approach here.
Yeah, and notice the difference between how Hammerhead is playing it and how Oreo Fleet is playing it. Oreo Fleet would have had Cool Steve on Zen and Mr. Oreo Man on that Baptiste, while they have Yummy Mac, the main support on the Sprig, and Stoicism on this Baptiste. they have a lot more sustain that way because Brig can check flanks a lot easier, can brawl a bit more, and gets a lot more healing value, especially in an AoE when the brawl happens. I really do like this comp from Hammerhead Esports with this Cassidy, which really being able to brawl it out with that close range, and also have that poke with McLovin. They synergize well with the pulls. I think this comp really works, and I'm wondering, will Blinded stay on this Widow?
It might be a bait tactic. Have everybody else go for the point while Blinded in the main, trying to get that
Oh,
sort
like
of
gladiators.
Maybe, yeah, it could be a great bamboozle. And speaking of bamboozle, they take that, they put the TP up and just go straight main. McLovin finds Concept's head in the meantime. Oreo Fleet already down their main DPS dealer, but they are able to eliminate that immortality field here from Stoicism, so it's not out of the picture yet. As I say that, Jungkook loses the mech and then loses their life. It looks like you're going to be seeing a reset here from Oreo Fleet. It's Hammerhead get a very good hold here to start off the map. But as I say that, Killjoy and Stoicism start getting the picks in favor here for the side. Oh no, I'm wrong.
Yep.
I'm a little tired, can't you tell? But still, Hammerhead wins the fight.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing there is, going into this double shield comp, the hardest thing is, how are they looking to now break this hold? Because they have a lot of ults that are like, okay, what's their fight winners? Because they don't have that Blizzard. They have Shatter, Bomb, but I mean, against this double shield, they have Rally, they have Window, they have Bongo, they have Sigil, they have Dragon. Like, there's so much ultimate power from this double shield as well, that really, they're gonna have to be a dry, no ult team fight usage for them to win there. And this might be the fight right here.
Concept Widow also needs to be careful about these shields in order to get any sort of value, but already Oreo Fleet stepping on the point. They are able to get that first tick here from Hammerhead Esports, so already some progress is made here. Trying to push in there, but already you see a lot of damage going on to Jungkook, but Mr. Oreo Man able to get the kill onto McLovin here. Good start here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Blinded able to get that kill to Stoicism as well, and now the kills are starting to go in favor here, because there is a high charge Symmetra on the side of Oreo Fleet. And just like that, Oreo Fleet will be able to take the first point after a little bit of patience and really good sustain.
Yeah, the sustain put up by Cool Steve and Mr. Oreo Man there was amazing. I'm assuming Blinded and Concept are going to switch here using these ults. Oh, wow, what a pick there. I mean, it's hard to go against that. Here they are going to come really quick here with this brawl now.
Yep, they're taking the right side approach here, but Blinded is on the still in the main, trying to get those big shots off on the enemy side. So we'll see if it works here for the side of Hammerhead. The Flux is invested here from Killjoy, tries to get a lot of members of Oreo Fleet up in the air, and it's able to eliminate Jungkook and Concept. Blinded gets the headshot kill onto McLovin, but might not be enough here as the rest of Oreo Fleet falls, and Hammerhead win another defense.
Yeah, again, the sustain from this double shield is so good. I've Blinded, it's finding picks here against this double shield, which I think is amazing, honestly. But it's going to be hard to, I want to see if they're going to be switching here now, if they use this ult Concept now on this Cassidy. Will Blinded be going on the Mei? Will Blinded be switching to more of a Hondo to mirror that? I want to see how they respond. Here comes the Reaper. Oh,
Junkrat.
Oh, Junkrat, I guess.
Yeah, Junkrat is very okay. No, never mind.
Oh.
Now they're switching up the sort of roles here. Blind is now on the Cassidy, Concepts on the Reaper. So we were close with the Reaper. It's just they wanted to play their sort of specialized heroes. Obviously, Blinded more of a Cassidy player than a Reaper player, but it's gonna be interesting to see. McLovin is also on this Doomfist as well. So Hammerhead have a lot more dive ability here, and they have a lot more ability to get these sort of attacks in. We'll see as he comes in for the punch, unable to get anything thus far except a little bit of damage in, but already both immortality fields invested. And there's the punch McLovin was looking for. Finds the punch on a Mr. Oreo Man. The bomb is invested here from Geomancer, but it looks like at the end of the day, Hammerhead will get another hold here.
Yeah. Now that they're on this roll, they're on this Reinhardt, they're on this Doomfist, they're really going to be able to... Ooh, APG really hunting this kill on Blinded and gets that late stagger. Super important there. That buys about 20 seconds. The biggest thing is here, just like, how are we looking to break this hold? They're looking to grab this high ground, but they're pushing into these ultimates because they had to switch a bunch of stuff. So they have this Baptiste window to make that space, but what are they looking to do to clean up the fight? And again, they can use that sustain, they can play a bit slower, but McLovin really going to be coming in over and over and over again, and I think they're going to have to catch them like before they can engage, and they're either have to go super fast with that one ultimate, or bait out a lot of ultimates and play for that second play.
See what the move is here. They have 2 minutes and already that's a big pick from Concept. Gets the kill onto Yummy Mac here. So already one big support player dead for the side of Hammerhead Esports. Dive comes in here from McLovin, unable to get any sort of kills, but gets burned really low here. Ult's starting to fly here. Blind and able to get rid of that immortality from Stoicism. So Still, Hammerhead in a little bit of a disadvantage. Oreo Fleet just looking for their opportunity to engage. Big stun from Blind is able to get that stun to McLovin, but McLovin still finds the kill onto him. Junker gets the kill onto McLovin in the aftermath. And still, Hammerhead Esports looking pretty clean right now. 2 picks have gone in favor here for the side of the enemy team, and that's a big shatter coming out from Rower. Hits 2 on the ground, and Jungkook dies in the fire strike. Hammerhead Esports trying to defend it all the way as much as they can. It looks like they'll be able to. Concept gets punched, but still the first tick is given up here from Hammerhead. Looks like Oreo Fleet, they have to lose this fight, but they will get that first tick, which is crucial here for these next 2 minutes.
Yeah, again, what they did there is they didn't even use ult there. They just went super quick, forced positioning out. Concept really getting an early pick on Yummy Mac is super important. Yummy Mac then returned with that beat and Thrower used that shatter. But again, they have these 4 ults here. It's going to be really hard to break that, where now Oreo Fleet is now going to be coming up with 5 ults, almost 6. This is going to be a super ult bonanza, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top here.
Definitely. You're going to be seeing ults fly left and right. You're also going to see my words start to stutter a little bit there.
Will the ults fly in center?
Maybe. They might fly left, right, and center, so we'll see what happens here. As here comes Oreo Fleet taking that left side approach again, trying to get that crucial first pick, and they know that Doomfist and McLovin just takes the same approach every single time. Deadeye from Blinded doesn't get anything. Bomb from Geomancer also doesn't get anything. The Meteor Strike from McLovin sets up this kill for the Rover to get Geomancer, and now Hammerhead starting to push on the enemy side, but Concept's on the point. Gets the second tick here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Is now another loss by Oreo Fleet, but they did get 66%, and a very nice percentage actually now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, but the biggest thing here now is they used 4 ults there, got 1 tick. Concept is Reaper ult. Mr. Oreo Man now coming up with this beat, while Hammerhead used all their ults there as well. This next fight is going to be basically a neutral fight, other than maybe those 2 ults on the board and the 2 beats as well, and the ult from Concept. The biggest thing that I'm looking at is after this high ground is taken, are they going to go left here? Are they going to go right? How does Concept close this gap and use this Reaper ult? That's the big important thing in this fight, and will they cap it before the time's up?
Definitely, Oreo Fleet looking for that opportunity. The blossom goes down from Concept, unable to get anything. He's stunned back onto the point here. And already Oreo Fleet looking for that sort of progress. Yummy Mac gets the kill in the Concept, so no people on the point thus far here for the side of Oreo Fleet. He comes out from Yummy Mac just to stabilize Hammerhead a little bit. And Blinded gets that kill into McLovin before he's able to use that Meteor Strike. That could be crucial here for the side of Oreo Fleet. They're trying to bring themselves onto the point here. Junker gets the kill in the Rower, and the Deadeye comes out here from AFG, unable to get anything. Blinded's Deadeye now is used, and is able to get that kill onto Yummy Mac. It's still winnable here for the side of Oreo Fleet, but now they're in overtime. The shatter from Jungkook finishes out the flight, and Oreo Fleet will be able to cap this point, but with no time in the bank, meaning it's draw or lose here on Hanamura.
Yeah, so that's again, the big thing I was bringing up before the fight was how Concept was going to use that Reaper ult, how much value got into that early fight with Concept. Reaper usually wants to be getting that fight in the usually wants to get value in that later fight because the cooldowns will be down. Has to use that ultimate early so they have a chance of capping with time. Obviously, he's punched out of it, brought to point. Then people are forced down the point, they stabilize on high ground, and then they have there's enough time to build up the shorter ultimates like Window and High Noon, and then look to capitalize after that. They do run out of time though, so that is a win for Hammerhead Esports, and I mean, Hammerhead Esports, they can now say at least they didn't get 4-0'd, which is a great place to start, and now looking to take that first map.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to do that. And also, I'm trying to check the stats to see how many draws we've had so far this week, because this could probably be adding on to that record. I'm currently counting, I'm pretty sure, 4 draws this week. So this would be the 5th draw this week of Tranquility, which would be very, very interesting if Hammerhead do not get this 1 tick that they need. So we'll see what happens here. Hammerhead currently looking at that composition that works so well for them, except they're not running McLovin on the Mei. They're running him on the Reaper this time, so we'll see what happens. Yeah.
The interesting thing to note, from my opinion, no more Genji. They're on this Junkrat to stop them from coming onto this greedy backline. Again, onto that Reaper, but it took a while last time to get that Blizzard. So they're maybe looking to get more neutral value with this Reaper, while now they're looking to take an even slower fights, even more angles, even more frontline pressure, and even more shield damage, which will really be hard for the Zarya to be pushing. If they were on Diva, then this Junkrat Nash don't get as much damage, but I think they're more relying on getting this without the Zarya, and there it is. That's why you want the Diva.
Yeah, definitely, and also that TP was not successful there from APG. Wanted that Pagoda, was unable to get it, and now the pick's just going in favor here. Hammerhead just going to bring themselves off the point. Definitely a big pick there to start off from Concept. Was able to get Stoicism, so already the Baptiste out of the fight. Already one big problem out of your way.
Yeah, and this is already into one fight territory with maybe a bit of staggering onto the point. This is exactly how you want to be playing this Oreo Fleet, and it's already looking pretty grim, even though you've only had one half fight.
We'll see, Hammerhead, they take the teleporter straight to the point, trying to get right onto this objective to try and take it. The rower sees the target in Jungkook, tries to get that damage onto the Orisa as Hammerhead starts taking up the percentage. Not able to get the 33% yet, and APG has found that first kill on the Geomancer. That is a massive pick here. Make that 2 for APG, gets the kill on the Concept. Make it 3 with the help of the rower there. 4 for APG, and that will end the point. Hammerhead tie it up in the half, showing that they are not out of this series just yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the response you want. You win your map choice. You play that brawl exactly how you want to be playing it, and that's how they go into halftime with the momentum. I mean, you gotta feel great being Hammerhead here. I mean, I caster cursed them. I caster cursed Oreo Fleet. I've now experienced it 2 times out of 2 times casting. And it's a new thing, but I mean, they played great there. They played exactly how they wanted to, and it really worked out great.
Listen, you'll get used to caster cursing as the time goes on, but Hammerhead, once again, showing that they can contend with the big boys here. They may have not won yet this season, but so far, taking maps off of both undefeated teams here in Indigo B, looking like a threat heading into halftime, and right now, it is tied at the half. Oreo Fleet will get the 3rd map when we come back from our 10-minute halftime, so it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to choose. Will Oreo Fleet be able to set sail all the way to the end, or will Hammerhead destroy this boat before it hits the shore? We'll be back after a 10-minute break to see what happens. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 Discord tier coverage. If you missed the match thus far, you missed a very close game between Oreo Fleet and Hammerhead, and currently it is tied up 1-1 entering map number 3, which is our hybrid map chosen by Oreo Fleet. And Capital, we're not going to Kings Row today, which is very rare. We're going to Hollywood for our third map of the day.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Hammerhead wants to play this Brawl, Oreo Fleet doesn't. Kings Row is Brawl, Hollywood is not. I think it makes sense. I'm excited for the out-of-the-box pick. I'm excited to cast Hollywood. But, I mean, Oreo Fleet's playing towards their strengths, and I think that puts them already in a great position for map 3.
Definitely, now that you mention it, obviously it makes sense. Don't run the stock standard Brawl map. Hollywood can tend itself to Brawl, but not as much as Kings Row or Eichenwald can, which I'm pretty sure Eichenwald is.
It is Nimbani, but yes,
Nimbani, I apologize. But still, Kings Row is much more Brawl heavy. Nimbani probably requires a lot of dive. Hollywood can be all over the place. It could be Brawl, it could be dive, it could be double shield. It'll be interesting to see what the play is here from Oreo Fleet, as this is their map choice. So we'll see what they decide to pull out here, what sort of crazy antics they decide to pull, and if it's going to work. I know of a certain team in Harmony tier that loves picking Hollywood because they're a Sim Bastion team. Do we see that from Oreo Fleet, or is that a little too far-fetched?
I think it's a little too far-fetched, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I'd love to see it, I don't think Concept plays either of those ones. But I think Concept could play the Genji here, this Hanzo. Yeah, and I think exactly what it's gonna come to. I think this on this map break, finally, they're playing a bit less greedy against this Brawl. But the big thing that I'm looking at that's important, I hope they don't switch, is this double bubble from Hammerhead with this Pharah Tracer. This is a super strong on this map. Other than, again, I really don't like Zarya, but Diva, Zarya works out great. You can play with that monkey. Playing against this Hog Soldier with the Ferret and the monkey will be pretty tough. I think this is a great matchup already for Oreo Fleet, but I want to see how Hammerhead plays into this.
Yeah, definitely. Hammerhead obviously running this Hog Sigma comp again here. We saw them running on Busan Sanctuary, which they got 100-0 ranking on, so we'll see if it runs into their favor here, and it does look like you will be seeing Hammerhead Esports run out with this double bubble Pharmacy style. Definitely going to be interesting to see how they decide to approach this. The initial rock is coming here from McLovin. Almost dies there to Concept on the Hanzo, but is still able to stay alive. And you see the rest of Oreo Fleet on the high ground right now, just trying to take all that space they can. Dive comes in here from the rower. Big boop off, gets rid of Concept off the high ground, and now the rest of Hammerhead trying to chase him down. He's able to get away. The fight just waiting for a perfect opportunity here for Hammerhead and or Oreo Fleet to make the move here. Tracer from APG gets shut down by Mr. Oreo Man. Great pick off there for the Brigitte on the side of Oreo Fleet. But another good pick off. McLovin gets rid of the hit scan threat as Cool Steve eliminates McLovin as I say that. But looks like McLovin will be in safe Resable territory here. Maybe not, but still looks like Oreo Fleet getting a pretty good hold of Geomancer will get the kill on the Yummy Mac here. And that's going to signal retreat here for Hammerhead.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing there, I mean, the biggest thing here is just, like, this monkey having to play into this constant spam of the soldier, as well as the Hanzo and the Hog. The monkeys, have to be really decisive on where they're diving, and then also, McLovin there's a lot of hit scan threats. Cool Steve, blinded, like, Concept even on that Hanzo can hit some chunkers on that, but now, yeah, here's the switch over. I think the biggest thing here is just like how they're setting up these dives, the Tracer needing to go in the short burst that Monkey can live with that bubble because of all the threats, and then how much poke can they minimize?
Definitely, McLovin switch over to the Hanzo, obviously meant for a more damaged approach, looking for that perfect opening onto Concept here. Be interesting to see as the dive comes in here from the rower, the nano boost invested here from Stoicism, be enabling the fight here. The window also came out from Cool Steve, so a little bit of repelling there from the Oreo Fleet, but they've lost both of their supports to the rower who activates that Primal Rage, and that's a 2K Pulse Bomb from APG to finish out the fight. Hammerhead get a clean engage and will be taking the first point here on Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how you want that fight to go. You get a huge purple, use that nano, the monkey to go in, really make that space, and then follow up with that tracer. That's exactly how you want to be setting this up. And really, this double bubble is more of a hybrid between that dive and between that dive and the poke with this Hanzo. But they really need to be playing a lot more divey because this Hog Sig is so pokey.
Yeah, definitely already a big pick there. McLovin gets picked out here for the side of Hammerhead. Oreo Fleet looking for some sort of engage here. Hammerhead take that dive up. Able to eliminate a lot of cooldowns there for the side of Oreo Fleet. So doing a good job there thus far in that Winston. Here comes the Gravitic Flux coming out from Geomancer, and it gets that Mercy of Yummy Mac, who gets picked out by Concept. Already a big pick coming out here from Oreo Fleet, trying to get themselves into the favor. Jungkook also gets the kill into APG, so now there's no DPS here for the side of Hammerhead, and they're just going to be retreating.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I saw there, Concept really getting that shot onto Yummy Mac in the Sigma ult. And the really unfortunate part is Yummy Mac had used the Valkyrie during the Sigma ult to live, and then still died. But that's a huge opening pick on Blinded.
Definitely. Blinded had that tactical visor, so now McLovin getting that pick denies that. Big hook coming out from Jungkook, but the rower is able to stay alive. And here comes the Graviton Surge also from Killjoy. The Immortality Field, however, keeps the team alive. Concept gets 2 kills onto both tanks. APG gets the kill on the Geomancer, however, so it's back and forth, but Jungkook getting that kill on the Stoicism might mean bad news as APG just moves straight into their own Pulse Bomb. You hate to see it. But that's going to be a reset here for Hammerhead as Oreo Fleet get the hold.
Yeah, so the soldier came back really, really fast. The legs really showing off why it's called the legs. Really in on that recontest with it. It still has this visor here and still has this window. Had to use the rally though because of that beforehand.
See what the move is here. Obviously, Jungkook wants to take this aggressive approach here for Oreo Fleet. Find that first pick. The dive comes in here from the rower. Already boops up Jungkook off the high ground. The nano boost, but McLovin finds that crucial pick. Make that 2 crucial picks here for McLovin. 2 headshots onto Blinded and Mr. Oreo Man. APG will finish out the fight here with the rower, and it looks like Hammerhead will start getting this cart moving once again.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate because of those opening picks happened last round too, and I think they should have won that last fight if not for Concept getting 2 picks in that Graviton Surge. But they're really showing that wasn't a mistake, really dictating that tempo. They look like they've been trying to win every other fight, first using that first fight to grab those ultimates, force out ultimates on Oreo Fleet's side, force out positioning, and then the second fight they're re-engaging with ultimate to win that fight. But Blind is on this little flank here for this visor. Here it comes.
And Blinded uses the tactical visor. APG, however, gets the kill on the Concept. Yummy Mac, however, and McLovin both out of the fight. Blinded able to get those 2 big picks. Get the third onto Diana thanks to the help of Geomancer. And just like that, that's going to be a 1 fight for Oreo Fleet right outside of point B.
Yeah, but then, just to get yet again, all they have left here on the side of Oreo Fleet is this Hog ult. While Hammerhead now comes into this fight with 3 ultimates here, and honestly, their 3 big ultimates. This Pulse Bomb has gotten immense value already. This Dragon with can get paired to force him into position for this Monkey, then to do damage with the Primal Rage.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what the move is here. Also, I didn't notice. Apparently, Stoicism and Yummy Mac run the Ana Zen. I don't know when that happened, but interesting sort of swap here. Obviously, preferring that diveable defense here for the side of Hammerhead as they start to make their engage here on the high ground. APG trying to go around the back line, trying to get that Pulse Bomb up. Dive comes in here from the rower. The Dragon Strike is invested here from Concept as the Pulse Bomb comes down from APG. Was defended there thanks to Cool Steve's Immortality Field, but McLovin finds the pick again onto Concept. Definitely been a playmaker thus far. The rower boots off Blinded. A big shot from Stoicism eliminates that soldier. Gravitic Flux comes out here from Geomancer, however, able to get the kill onto the rower. It's back and forth thus far, but Hammerhead not going to be in the advantage right now. All of a sudden, this APG and Oreo Fleet are able to hold this just barely. It might come down to these final few picks as that Zen of Yummy Mac does fall. Looks like you're going to be seeing Oreo Fleet just barely hold this, but it's all up to APG to be able to save this, and it looks like they're already out of the fight.
Yeah, and APG really trying to bring that back in the closet defeat for Hammerhead Esports, but the respawn advantage was too much in the advantage of Oreo Fleet. And now they come back with this rally, and they're using it really early here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, APG dies, and they had the Pulse Bomb online, so that could be crucial here for Hammerhead. Oreo Fleet getting the kills that they need, thanks to that hog from Jungkook. Just like that, the cart cannot be touched by Hammerhead. Oreo Fleet will be able to get the gold here with 117 meters taken here by Hammerhead. They will not be able to get that second point.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the way that Hammerhead is playing that. I think the Ana Zen switch was really smart as they had really no flankers, no backline pressure. There's a lot of frontline pressure from Blinded in Concept and Jungkook on that Hog, Soldier, and Hanzo. But Yummy Mac, there was nobody who was protecting on that Mercy. There was nobody who was pocketing, so that Zenyatta, that Discord Orb, really brings a lot of damage, a lot of utility to that composition, and he didn't have to protect his Ana because, again, there was nothing to hurt the Ana except for maybe a flanking Hog, but what does a Brig do into, or Mercy do into that anyways?
So we'll see what the move is here from Oreo Fleet on their attack and what the move is from Hammerhead on their defense here. As it looks like right now, okay, yeah, Hammerhead just going for the, let's give them the point strategy. No, never mind. It looks like they're just picking their heroes one by one here. So we'll see what the move is. Oreo Fleet sticking to this Hog Sigma, though, which I don't blame them, Capital. It's been working really well for them thus far.
Yeah, but I think now they're gonna start running into this trouble with this Orisa Sig. Orisa Sig is basically this Hog Sig, but better, because you have a pull instead of a hook. It's a lot more team-oriented. I mean, I take the Hog Sig in comp, but I mean, if they're playing this like comp, then maybe Oreo Fleet comes out on top. But I'm hoping Hammerhead team-oriented style will take the defense here, because go teams instead of individuals. Woo!
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens there. Team play, obviously, the meaning of it. As double sniper also coming out here from Oreo Fleet, blinded on the Widowmaker concept on the Hanzo. So we'll see if there's any sort of picks that they can resolve with here. Blinded obviously trying to get into a good angle, misses the hook up onto the high ground. That's unfortunate, but still Oreo Fleet starting to make their way into the point here. The hook from Jungkook is a whiff, but still the pressure is now applied to the side of Hammerhead. They're looking for an opportunity to set up. Definitely interesting strategy. Hammerhead running the Cassidy Torb, so they were expecting a dive here from Oreo Fleet, but obviously no dive heroes here unless a Widowmaker in your backline counts as a dive hero. Concept tries to take that high ground approach, tries to burn down the turret, but right now it's just a waiting game for both teams, and once that first opportunity opens, it's gonna be a mess. Ooh, and there's that first opportunity. As I mentioned, that Concept gets that first kill onto Stoicism. Blinded, still looking for some sort of angle here on this Widowmaker to get that first pick up, but still already a big pick here for the side of Oreo Fleet. That being said, the rower gets the kill onto the Jungkook, and now Mr. Oreo Man is down for the side of Oreo Fleet. It looks like the Oreo Fleet are going to be retreating here a bit, but APG dies to Cool Steve. It's still back and forth, but it looks like Hammerhead might just barely sustain because they have this Brigida online.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that's being shown off is this double shield. This Orisa, the difference in it is crazy because you're offering that shield not only for this defense against this double shield, but also these pulls again, which Jungkook was capitalized on. Blinded and Concept taking the same angle here against this double shield is forced because of the way these shields are being placed, and Blinded can't find another angle.
Yeah, definitely. Oreo Fleet obviously having a little bit of trouble with the sniper. The Dragon comes out and Blinded finds that first pick onto APG. The Dragon Strike very well aimed, and Blinded looking for opportunities. Concept helps him in the assist of Killjoy, and now it looks like Oreo Fleet starting to get the kills that they need when they need them. Just like that, Oreo Fleet look like they're going to be able to take the first point here as Concept looking for that kill onto the Orisa. That's exactly what's going to happen thanks to the help of Geomancer.
Yeah, and that's how you want to open up those angles in this double shield. Concept really had a really good Hanzo splitting that double shield, that bunker composition, and then Blinded really was able to pick up apart with the help of that window from Cool Steve on the high ground. That's how you want to be facing this comp. You want this, but basically what the Hog's point is to burn cooldowns and then take an angle that's different to the window and the Hanzo, and also do a lot of shield damage. Here he is being chased away.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the rower was unable to get up to the high ground there. The flux comes out from Geomancer, gets both tanks into it. No kills resulting in it thus far. The Jungkook has died here on the Roadhog, so Oreo Fleet might be a little oversetting. APG also switched over to that Widowmaker. The Molten Core is invested here from McLovin, as it looks like Hammerhead will be getting a little bit of sustain, but that cart's still moving, Capital.
Yeah, and the big thing is with this cart is where they at this fight, or at least where does Hammerhead want to keep this fight cart in position? Because if it's a problem mid-fight, then that's when they get taken off the high ground and they can go into Oreo Fleet's way.
Window invested here from Cool Steve, so is the drum from the rower, and already 2 kills resulting. Concept and Killjoy now dead here, so interesting to see what the result is here. Big shot from Blinded onto APG, eliminates the Widowmaker threat immediately here for Oreo 3, and just like that, the kills start going in their favor. The rower now dead to Mr. Oreo Man, and the push comes in here from Oreo Fleet. They will be winning this fight and continue pushing the cart.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on how Blinded keeps finding these picks in these 2 shields. You have a window to contest and those 2 shields, but maybe this concept is putting in a lot of helpful with this Sonic Arrow. The power of these 2 snipers is super important, playing off of each other, and that synergy is really being shown here on Hollywood.
Blinded looking for a cheeky shot onto the enemy Widowmaker, onto anybody as the cart approaches that final sort of area here. Already 87 meters, just a few more meters left here for the side of Oreo Fleet as they try to finish out here on Hollywood. Waiting for the perfect engagement opportunity as Hammerhead come over from the left side. The window is invested from Stoicism. The first pick is down for APG. Jungkook's whole hog gets canceled out by the rower as the rest of the team's trying to get back on. But guess what? Hammerhead just barely able to touch that cart as Oreo Fleet almost moved it all the way into the final point. Hammerhead just trying to finish out the fight now, but Jungkook has found the rower, and Hammerhead do not touch the cart in time. Oreo Fleet go to match point here on map number 3, winning on Hollywood.
Yeah, and given what you were saying earlier on at that point where that cart was moving, and you're really just trying to get it in position, Oreo Fleet looking to play that low ground, balance it off, and they won that one fight, and eventually that cart became that problem where that little pushing at the end of that fight was that difference maker. I understand, at least with that, where before that whole hog was canceled, it was a lot more about like, let's try and force a C9 with that Sig and a Hoggle, and maybe the value was lost a bit there, but I think they got pretty fortunate with how it ended.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what the approach is here from now Hammerhead as the sirens are going off over at their base. They're starting to realize we could be going 0-4 in the season right here, guys. We got to start turning it around here. They do get the choice of an escort map here, so they could try to tie it up here against Oreo Fleet, depending on what they decide to choose for the map here. Be interesting to see what they decide to choose here between, I believe it is Dorado, Junkertown, I forget the third one that
Watch Point Gibraltar.
Watch Point Gibraltar.
And it is Havana.
Havana,
Junkertown, and Watch Point Gibraltar.
Thank you. I keep forgetting what I keep forgetting the map pool sometimes. I'm not a player, so it's hard to keep track.
Did you hear my sirens? Is that why you said that?
Yes, that's why. There were sirens in the background. That's why I said it. You know, it's best to take those background elements and try to use them to your advantage in the cast. So that's
Browsy, you're so smart. You know, that's one of the things I love about your casting, and one of the things I love about this game is how close it is. And I'm really excited for this in Map 4.
Like, even though Hammerhead, again, we talked about, they have not won a match yet this season. They have brought it close with a lot of teams that they faced up against. It's going to be interesting to see what they pull out here as they go to our 4th map. Their choice is Havana for this map. We expect a close hold here, Capital.
Do we?
I mean, Hammerhead have been really good on the brawl thus far, so I wouldn't be surprised. They could run
from Hammerhead, I expect a close hold, but isn't Oreo Fleet on defense first?
Yes, but we'll see what happens here. It's going to be interesting to see what these two teams come out with. Obviously, Oreo Fleet will get the defense first. Hammerhead might run that close hold. Hammerhead obviously has been a brawl-oriented team. We've seen them excel on brawl. They have had their moments on double shield, but it's just been a sort of affair in favor here for Hammerhead. So it's going to be interesting to see what they pull out here on Havana. A map where brawl can be dominant, especially trying to close the distance, but it's not always the preferred composition.
Honestly, I'm surprised they went towards Havana here. I'm gonna be honest. I thought Watch Point Gibraltar would be the point of them going here. It plays I know it isn't brawly, but I don't see them wanting. Oh, okay. Well, maybe they will close hold here, like you predicted. But they both are on Bastion. Confused. No.
I mean,
I think okay. Woo. The concept is in spawn, so maybe. They are actually gonna be running a close hold Bastion.
Yeah, that is the Oreo Fleet running the close hold Bastion right now. Bastion obviously is a very good close hold hero that's not really utilized that much. Provides so much damage, can just sit in the back line. Geomancer can put the shield up and pretty much can reign supreme. So, Bastion.
Cursed. But one of the biggest things I wanted to say was that this Widow's bowling alley, and I'm surprised that Hammerhead went here with how well Blind has been playing on this Widow.
Here comes the move from Oreo Fleet, taking that very close hold. Obviously, Hammerhead expect this? Or they're probably waiting to see what the swaps are. They're probably waiting to see what the team is. Yeah, they're looking to see what the enemy team is running, potentially, because it's already been 15 seconds. And after 15 seconds, the enemy comp is revealed. So they just want to save themselves from that supposed death. But as I say that, Blind is able to get that first kill onto McLovin here. Already a good start here for Oreo Fleet, as they will be getting the hold here, and Hammerhead looking for some answers. Oh, big hold, big 8.
Yeah, I mean, Concept hasn't really been getting a lot of the value here. One of the big question marks now, Concept in more of a favorable position to do damage, but is a lot easier to be killed, and there he goes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big pick here from McLovin. Gets rid of that Bastion. The Rower, however, dies to Blinded, but still the kills are starting to go in favor of Hammerhead. They have this little advantage position, and the window is going to be invested here from Stoicism. It looks like you will be seeing Hammerhead eventually take this. McLovin from the back line gets Jungkook, and now the window is invested here from Cool Steve. Mr. Oreo Man on the Lucio gets the kill on the McLovin, showing his Reddit Lucio skills, but that's going to be the fight win here for Hammerhead. They'll start pushing the cart.
Yeah, and again, I think this double shield from Oreo Fleet would be a lot better suited with an Orisa, and then also with this Widow. I think Blind has been playing so well on this Widow, and this is like a Widow map. I'm confused a bit on the choices there, but I mean, it's been working. They're up 2-1, so maybe we'll see it work out here for Hammerhead, who's more on the traditional Bap Zen double shield with an Orisa.
I mean, the brawl definitely allows you to close the distance between the enemy team. As we saw there, the shatter comes out from Jungkook, but the Transcendence is used from Yummy Mac to try and keep the team alive. Almost got flanked out by Blinded as well. Speaking of Blinded, Deadeye gets blocked there from Killjoy. Very good shield coming out from the Sigma of Hammerhead. But now Hammerhead, they have to slow down and retreat a little bit. As you can see, the aggression coming out here from the enemy team. The Flux is invested from both sides. And APG, the automatic powered gun, gets 4 with that Deadeye lift from the sky. Beautiful, beautiful ultimate coming out from APG.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's right there is why Brawl is a problem on this map. There's so many long sight lines to cross. They just kite, they kite. Then they run into they have their ultimates that they want, and then there, that beautiful combo. But maybe there is a recontest here from Oreo Fleet with the Dragon.
Yep, the Dragon comes out here from Concept. Blind is able to find that early pick onto Yummy Mac, and Mr. Oreo Man also finds the point and kill onto McLovin. It's so far looking in favor here of Oreo Fleet to get this hold here right before point A, and looks like with that, you're going to be seeing Hammerhead retreat, and Oreo Fleet get a hold.
Yeah, that was a really, really good recontest from Oreo Fleet. They played it really well, re-entering with that Dragon. That's how they take that space, and then following up on that splitness from them. The Orisa Sig now is being mirrored. I think this Orisa works a lot better. I mean, the only difference here is that Lucio, where they have that recontest, and they can still dictate that tempo with that Brawl. Whereas, yeah, and that's a great opening pick from McLovin. Yet again, really showing off this Hanzo skill in the last 2 maps.
Definitely McLovin getting that big headshot onto Concept now, so already 1 pick down. Both windows invested here, but Stoicism gets that big kill onto Jungkook. Blinded gets his Deadeye denied again by McLovin. Beautiful headshot again onto the Hanzo there. Looks like with that, Hammerhead starting to bring themselves in the advantage. Mr. Oreo Man just there to stall out the cart. Geomancer's just going to be stuck in this little theater here. But that's going to be Hammerhead taking the first point here on Havana, which is definitely a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing that I saw here that I really enjoyed was that Hammerhead is really winning these fights. It's just they've had a few breaks where they don't cap it fully, but I think while they are playing super, super well, Oreo Fleet is doing really well on taking advantage of those mistakes of Hammerhead. Their concept with the opening pick, Hanzo versus Hanzo, this duel is insane.
Definitely, Concept gets that first kill onto APG, so that's a big pick here for the side of Oreo Fleet. That Deadeye no longer online, and now McLovin picked out by Cool Steve. Good find there from the Zenyatta player for the side of Oreo Fleet. Looks like Hammerhead just want to retreat here a little bit, start backing up a little bit, but they are still moving that cart as I say that, so want to move that cart a little bit, but it looks like they're just waiting for the next setup.
Yeah, I think this mirror that they're trying to take is more Oreo Fleet saying, hey, we can do what you can do, but better. And here's the signal from the side of Geomancer and this Dragon concept. This should be a huge combo, but this Transcendence is massive.
Definitely. Big Transcendence from Yummy Mac. APG also able to get the kill on the Blinded. Stoicism does die to Concept's Dragon, however, so already 1 big support dead for the side of Hammerhead. Jungkook also gets the kill onto McLovin, and looks like Hammerhead now fully disengaging here. They're waiting for the team members to get back up. Beautiful shots from APG to eliminate Concept, but the fight's already done here, and that's going to be a lost fight for Hammerhead.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with that was, I think they got a little bit greedy there. Concept trying to look for more as that fight was clicked out, took that duel and lost that duel. This is now an opening for Hammerhead to start making space on this difficult Havana second point attack.
Yeah, definitely Hammerhead. They have these ults in the bank as well, so we'll see if they decide to use them to their advantage and what they decide to go for the attack routing here. Looks like they're going for that bottom right, just going up to the high ground to contest immediately up with Oreo Fleet. Drum invested here from Jungkook. A lot of damage being thrown onto the enemy side, and the rower ends up seeing their demise. Concept able to get the kill onto the main tank there for the side of Hammerhead. Right now, Hammerhead's still trying to stabilize, but now McLovin's dead. The immortality fear from Stoicism is used, and that's another 1 fight here for Oreo Fleet. 60 seconds on the clock for Hammerhead.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure every fight on this whole map has been decided by the Hanzo opening pick, either by McLovin or Concept. Every fight, I think, has had the Hanzo with the first pick in that fight, either on some... obviously on some of the enemy team. That's a really, really big thing, and their Concept has controlled the sight lines, and that's why it's so hard for McLovin to push into that. But here they have a lot of ultimates here on the side of Oreo Fleet and on Hammerhead. I'll see how they can bring this pushing this top left area.
Already forced out a lot of cooldowns there for Jungkook as the Flux comes out here from Killjoy. Grabs a couple into it. Concept shoots the Dragon, however, straight into the enemy team. Oreo Fleet trying to use all their ults, but McLovin has found the first pick onto Concept. That is massive. Window invested here from Stoicism, and now the kills continuing to go in favor here of Hammerhead. They again lose Rower, so obviously not the best fight, but still they're getting the kills that they need, and they're trying to get advantage on this cart. Geomancer just sitting there trying to contest that cart. so that Oreo Fleet have some sort of sustain here. Stoicism will be able to do them in. And now, Hammerhead start moving the cart in overtime. They cannot take a foot off this cart or else they will be losing this push. But they're going to continue the push here right now. And Oreo Fleet, losing members, they need to get a retreat here.
Yeah, I mean, McLovin, again, got the opening pick on the concept, and then that Hanzo opening pick, and there McLovin just, again, on that Baptiste. Maybe it's a stagger, maybe it's an opening pick. But let's see how they open it up. They have both DPS ults here, McLovin with the early dragon, see if he can catch him. And their concept, another opening pick with the Hanzo, yet again.
Yeah, McLovin's been really good at these opening picks. Getting that kill on the concept means that Oreo Fleet will not be all 6 members going into this final attack here. And even worse, Hammerhead have a lot of ults still in the bank. The rower gets the kill on the Cool Steve. Jungkook tries to contest. The Flux is invested from Geomancer, but he dies to McLovin. And that's going to be the second point taken here from Hammerhead. They're trying to bring it to the end of Havana.
Yeah, and again, it's been super feast or famine. I think these fights have been pretty linear with how they're saying, oh, you get that first pick, you win that fight. And McLovin is playing on fire with his Hanzo right now. I'd like to see now Hammerhead where they go here, where they go from here. They have this Cassie ultimate coming up, but after that they have the Sigma ult and then Baptiste. I want to see what each team's fight plan is with minimal ults going on. Let's see that neutral double shield. Let's see that macro gameplay. Which team is better at that right now on Havana?
Seconds in the match here for Hammerhead, trying to get as much as they can on the attack. A lot of damage going on to Killjoy. Just barely able to stay alive until Geomancer rocks them off the edge. Stoicism joins Killjoy into the drink. Just like that, Oreo Fleet already advantage up in 2 in this fight, and they're going to be winning this fight and getting the kills that they need. Now only 30 seconds here for Hammerhead.
Yeah, we're getting to last fight territory here, and there's both support ultimates are on the board for Oreo Fleet and Hammerhead. This is going to be a really, again, another big ultimate fight after a fight with none, and now it comes down to not as much as the double shield macro, but this fight planning with these ultimates. How are they going to use these ultimates to each of their advantages? And again, which Hanzo is going to find the other Hanzo first? This has been such a big storyline for this, and as both just trade headshots here.
Yeah, definitely it's going to come down to those picks, and McLovin finds the first kill onto Geomancer, but Blinded finds that return kill onto APG, so it's even right now as overtime is about to be triggered here. The Flux is committed from Killjoy. It gets 2 up in the air. Yummy Mac dies, but Concept is able to find 2 onto McLovin, and Killjoy still winnable here for the side of Oreo Fleet as Hammerhead just start making this last engage here. Only Rower and the supports alive here as Yummy Mac goes on that very incredible flank, is able to get that big kill onto Mr. Oreo Man. That could be detrimental, but Blinded finds the headshot onto Yummy Mac. It's back and forth thus far, but Geomancer has this Flux, brings the Roller straight up into the air, and Blinded gets 2 in this fight, trying to bring it here in the favor of Oreo Fleet. Might try to go for a third here, but the kills are going in favor of Oreo Fleet. All that's left for Hammerhead is this ball player of Killjoy. Looks like with that, Oreo Fleet will have to give this up in the end. Almost gets that shot off onto the Lucio of Yummy Mac. That could have definitely ruined the fight there for the side of Hammerhead. But Hammerhead still trying to put bodies onto this point, still trying to finish that out. They're pretty close to building up that mines, but Killjoy ends up dying to Geomancer. And it looks like through it all, it's going to be a hold here for Oreo Fleet on Havana, as long as they're able to do with the rest of these picks.
I mean, these fights are this fight is still going on. There's 5 people alive right now, and we'll pick McLovin onto the concept. It is a 5v5. Blinded now, showing up this prowess on this Widowmaker, finding 2 more,
3 kills for Blinded to finish it out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they didn't play Blinded on this Widow the whole time. You saw the prowess on the third point. Grabbed 3 picks in that first fight before the stall, and 3 picks to end that stall. Blinded Widow is legit nuts. Oreo Fleet, do better with the comps, man. Blinded is a crazy on this Widow. I want to see Blinded on this stack as a pause comes in.
Yeah, we might be having some issues here. Obviously, there has been a recent Overwatch bug that many people have reported that apparently has it so that some people are crashing. And it seems to have happened for Mr. Oreo Man now, or actually, no, it was an internet DC, but nope, it was
PC
a crash. PC, oh god, that's even worse.
But at least it was between maps.
Yes, that is the benefit. It was between the maps. Like, obviously, there have been this issue has come up in Tranquility matches. When we were at halftime, there were 4 separate crashes on the side of Oreo Fleet. 4 people had their game client crash. And yesterday, there were matches in Discords here where the crash happened in a map 5 scenario. Let's hope that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are playing, they're so close. I mean, Hammerhead, if you told me the Hammerhead was 0-3 and Oreo Fleet was 3-0, I would be like, what? No way. I mean, I don't know how Hammerhead is 0-3. They're great. They're looking awesome right now, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be interesting to see what the plan is here from Oreo Fleet on their attack here. And definitely Hammerhead showing that they are willing to contend here. They could make a Group C run if they get the right opponents. Honestly, do not count Hammerhead out. They are much better than I thought they ever were. We're gonna get back in here shortly. Mr. Oreo Man trying to get back into the game here. Hopefully they'll be able to get back in very soon. But definitely, as you mentioned, Blinded's Widow definitely showing a lot of promise here. Do we see Oreo Fleet run that on the attack, though?
I think they're not going to run it to because they're going to have to break that spawn hold, right? I think a big thing there is going to be okay. Hammerhead should be spawn holding, and I don't think Blinded will be on it for them. I think Blinded will probably roll out on the Cassidy concept on the Hanzo. They're going to look to break that spawn hold. As soon as they break the spawn hold, if Blinded has high noon, he won't switch. But if he doesn't have high noon or if he's not close, then I think he probably switches to that way out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do, how they decide to bring it forward, and what the plan is here. Obviously, we might be seeing Hammerhead go for the close hold, obviously, as you mentioned. So we're going to see if Hammerhead do that, what the plan is from Oreo Fleet to counter that. Because obviously, we saw how well Hammerhead were able to pull that close hold. They had McLovin on the Hanzo go into the back line, start taking that different angle. They found that first pick onto the Bastion as well, so that automatically eliminated the biggest threat that the close hold had. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to go for here. As now Mr. Oreo Man is back in the game, thankfully. Thank goodness the PC crash happened before Oreo or after Oreo Fleet were able to hold that, because that could have been detrimental. That could have given the point to Hammerhead there.
Yeah,
That could have been detrimental because Havana's hard to complete.
Yeah, I mean that stall, it was crazy. They regained that, and then Blinded shut it down with that Widowmaker through that window from Cool Steve. I think Cool Steve's windows have been great as well. The biggest thing I'd like to say is I want to see more off angles with concept. I want to see what G-Mance will be playing on that side. Whereas and again, that also the same thing with Killjoy and McLovin. I want to see more dedicated off angles for this double shield.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see as the comps are about to be revealed very soon. Again, Oreo Fleet will get the attack right now. No surprise. Blinded lots the Widow to start, and it looks like the other side for Hammerhead. Yeah,
Bastion?
First off, yeah, they're blinded on the Bastion. That's what I meant to say.
The Bastion maker.
I mean, Bastion in Overwatch 2 will be sort of a sniper class, so he does have that. He does have that main gun that looks like a sniper. But as we mentioned, Hammerhead, they're going for that close hold. They're running the Ryan Sigma.
Yeah, and they're looking to break it probably with this off angle on this Hog and concept on the Soldier, looking to take different angles. Blinded on this Pharah, maybe? I want to see if Blinded stays on this Pharah. But I mean, it really comes down to APG being able to shut this down. Blinded coming back out on this Bastion. Are they looking to be running Pirate Ship maybe? Once they break this close hold? Let's see.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, you need a good sail, and obviously Killjoy gets the first pick onto Cool Steve, and now all the kills going in favor of Hammerhead. But Jungkook gets a massive pick off on that Roadhog onto McLovin. That is a big pick here for Oreo Fleet, as that is basically the sustainability of this composition that Hammerhead are running right now.
Yeah, oh wow, Hammerheads. There's nothing to sustain if the fights are super quick. They have both supports still. McLovin's coming back on that Tracer. This spawn hold 30 seconds down is already looking pretty good. I want to see what they're going to be able to do, and they're switching off this Bastion, but they switch to this Hanzo for more pick potential.
Yeah, concept now on the Hanzo, and you also have Jungkook switching over to the Orisa, so want to play more of a shield approach, don't want to go for that Roadhog for those certain picks. See how this Tracer impacts the fight as well, because McLovin obviously switching over to this hero. You're starting to see this double shield approach will be getting some ground here on the card here for Oreo Fleet. They're able to just rotate around, but the window comes out here from Stoicism, trying to bring in favor here as McLovin finds that pick onto Blinded. Good pick there from Hammerhead, and APG gets the kill on the Jungkook. That's going to be another lost fight here to the side of Oreo Fleet, and Hammerhead looking pretty good on this hold thus far.
Yeah, that's a minute and 20 seconds down to go. Hammerhead looking already to put themselves in a great time bank position to put them into map 5. I know that sounds crazy, but 0-3 team versus 3-0 team going to map 5. But now Oreo Fleet is looking to switch to this more traditional brawl.
Yeah, now they're going over to the stock standard brawl. They do have that Zen, obviously, because Cool Steve is closer to the Transcendence, but that's a massive wall coming out from Concept. It's separated the main tank of Rower. The Shatter also came out from both teams, and it looks like now the favor is going in favor of the Hammerhead. They're able to get the kills that they need, and that pulse bomb from McLovin just sends out the fight.
Yeah, but Cool Steve does find that pick onto McLovin. They're going to have this Transcendence coming up in the next fight. They switched over to that Zarya on Geomancer, but Killjoy on the Sigma is coming up with this, on that ult, and they also do have the beat. I don't think this fight will be the time they take it, but next fight definitely could be the one that they break this fight.
Transcendence comes out from Cool Steve, and so does the Flux coming out from Killjoy. Nobody killed from that thus far, but already a lot of abilities used here for the side of Oreo Fleet, and McLovin finds another pick onto Jungkook. So far, Hammerhead showing that they can make this close hold work. The window invested here from Stoicism might be a little bit overcommitment, but Hammerhead once again win the fight, and now they've burned off almost 3 minutes off the time bank here for Oreo Fleet. This is big here, Capital.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is that they keep making switches over and over again. The supports just switched again. Concept is the only one that's coming up with an ultimate, maybe blinded as well, but this Gold Soul is working so well because the ultimates they've been using have been so clean. And what a huge shout!
Oh, Rower gets 3 on the ground. The Deadeye from APG cleans up the rest of the fight, and Hammerhead looking really clean thus far. Using these ults in rotation is what they need to be doing here.
Yeah, and I assume this is why Hammerhead went to this map. They're confident in their brawl. And now you see, well, blinded, Widow, great Widow, but you can't use Widow if you can't get out of spawn.
Yeah, you really can't, so gonna be interesting to see here. Now the right side approach being taken here from the side of Oreo Fleet. They're able to get that wall out from Concept again. Just barely frees up Rower, but not enough damage to kill them as the Blizzard comes out, and now the kills start to finally go in favor here for the side of Oreo Fleet. They get 4 in this fight thus far. And now Oreo Fleet, they finally break that close hold, but it took them 3 minutes and 30 seconds, Capital.
Yeah, and the biggest thing now is, okay, they're switching to this Hanzo, they're switching to this Orisa, they're switching to this double shield, but they still have this BAP and the Sigma all on re-engage, right? 2 huge ultimates. Blind is gonna have to come up big in with this Deadeye, or else it's gonna be a big problem for Oreo Fleet or Jungkook on the Shatter into these double shields. But this is a great window to start it off.
Saw the last time that we saw Flux and Deadeye in play, and Jungkook's massive Fire Strike eliminates Yummy Mac. Welcome back to Zenyatta, he says, as now it looks like now it's overtime here for the side of Oreo Fleet, trying to push this cart all the way. The Flux comes out from Killjoy, tries to go right for the cart, does get some in the air, including Blinded and Cool Steve. No kills resulted from as the window comes out here from Stoicism, blocked by the wall from Concept, and now the Shatter comes out from Jungkook, gets 1 on the ground, only Killjoy's on the ground, and McLovin's found the pick on a Blinded. It's back and forth thus far, but Oreo Fleet trying to keep the aggression up onto the enemy side. The Graviton is used here from the side of Geomancer, gets Killjoy into it, and that could be the big turner of the tide. Oreo Fleet trying to bring it out here into the first point. It looks like they will be able to, just barely being able to finish off these picks, but they have to finish off this Orisa and that Baptiste. Stoicism still alive, and so is the Rower here on this Orisa. Now Stoicism dead, the Rower is dead, and now that's Oreo Fleet finally being able to cap point A.
Yeah, and in OT no less, I think they're going to be taking a lot of space here on this brawl onto the second point. But if they lose one fight on the second point, it's going to be super, super tough for them to be taking this all the way, just because of how this is set up. The Zarya, while having charged now after death, won't. They're going to need to be really chained together these fights, or it's going to be a big problem for Oreo Fleet on this map.
Cool Steve now switching over to the Baptiste as well, so there's a lot more healing on the side of Oreo Fleet. They'll be able to have that sort of sustain. I believe Cool Steve was on the BAP before, but probably had to swap because they wanted to get back in the fight, so we'll see. Hammerhead engage here with APG's Deadeye. Gets the kill on the Jungkook. That's massive. The main tank already out of the picture here, and now the kill is going in favor here for Hammerhead as APG finished off Cool Steve, and once again, Hammerhead able to get the hold, and Oreo Fleet retreating.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is the rest of Hammerhead is really stepping up next to McLovin. McLovin has been so great this whole match, but on this defense, McLovin maybe has fallen short a few times with a few getting picked pretty early, but the rest of the team has really stepped up, especially the Rower and Killjoy on these tanks have really shown their prowess and synergy together.
Big switch coming in here from Geomancer, switching over to the Diva off that Zarya and Blinded, using that Deadeye, trying to separate the rest of Hammerhead. It just gets eaten up by Killjoy here, so Oreo Fleet start moving the card here with their stock standard brawl composition, but Hammerhead able to get that kill thanks to APG onto Mr. Oreo Man, so now the speed is out. The Transcendence invested here from Yummy Mac to counter this Blizzard coming out from Concept, and it's able to do its job properly. Stoicism has the window up, and APG finds another pickup, this time on the Jungkook. Hammerhead trying to finish out this fight, and it's only 60 seconds left here for the side of Oreo Fleet, and they're just going to be retreating here, Capital.
Yeah, and every stat here is going to make it even more likely for it to be a final fight. If Cool Steve, if Cool Steve gets caught out there, so this probably is coming into last fight territory here for Oreo Fleet, and this second point is hard to push. They're pushing into a Bongo, they're pushing into a Sigil, they're pushing into a High Noon, and all they have to show for themselves is a Shatter and a beat. Like last time, will Jungkook come up with this Shatter? Will Mr. Oreo and have a huge beat for this Flux? How are they looking to break this in the neutral? Because they do not have the ult advantage right now.
And it's going to be a lot harder because Geomancer doesn't have their mech online, so now it's going to be even harder here for Oreo Fleet to try and push in. They either want to wait for Geomancer's mech or start making the move right now, and it looks like they're going to start making their move to the card. But that's a massive pull Flux coming out from Hammerhead. The B, however, is there to counter for Mr. Oreo Man, but already 2 picks favoring Hammerhead here. Oreo Fleet starting to fall at the seams as the picks go in favor of Hammerhead. All that's left right now is Geo on that Diva. Won't be able to touch. And we're going to a map 5!
I signed up for a short cast here. I was like a 3-0 team versus an 0-3 team, and wow, this has not disappointed. This has been a great match so far, and we are fittingly getting a map 5. And I mean, Hammerhead, I don't get it, man. How are you guys 0-3? I'm gonna be honest. I don't get it. You guys are great.
Here's that beautiful 4K Deadeye from APG. Could have gotten the 5th, but wanted to get rid of that Deadeye as quickly as possible so that he didn't die. But Hammerhead stepping up when it matters and showing that they are 0-3, but they are not out of the competition here, Capital. This could be a major upset win going into week 5 next week.
I mean, it is March Madness. March Madness started today, and this is, I guess it's the start of it here right now. An 0-3 team taking over a 3-0 team. I mean, Oreo Fleet's looking like the tippity top of that pool. Hammerhead, maybe not so far, but I mean, this change. This is right now. I think Hammerhead really has that potential to go super far in the tournament, and this is it showing right now. I mean, I really want to see how this goes into map 5. They both have some map 5 experience already. I know Hammerhead losing to Alt F4, I believe, week 1 in that map 5. Oreo, week 2, my bad. And Oreo Fleet also have some map 5 advantages against Redacted, again, getting that reverse sweep. So I mean, I'm excited to see how these go. Oreo Fleet 1-0 map 5s, Hammerhead I believe 0-1 on map 5s, and maybe let's try and even it out.
Yeah, definitely. And while we have Stoicism taking another bathroom break here for the side of Hammerhead, now Oreo Fleet have a challenge. They have choice of Lijiang Tower and Ilios here. What map do they choose here, Capital? Because this map could be the decider.
I mean, if I was them right now, I'm not, but if I was, I would probably lean towards more Oasis. I love Oasis. Oasis is my favorite map.
Oasis isn't a map. It's Ilios and Lijiang Tower.
Ilios. I would take Ilios, not Oasis is what I meant to say. Ilios is one of my favorite maps. Oasis obviously I like more, but Ilios is a pretty fun map. Lijiang is a bit more coin flippy, a bit more with brawly. I really don't think it plays to the strength of Oreo Fleets like it does Hammerheads. I think Oreo Fleet will find a better chance on Ilios. You can run that hog on that well like Jungkook likes to. I think they should go Ilios here, but I could see either being picked.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that hog pick on Ilios, well, definitely can favor Jungkook here and the side of Oreo Fleet because they've been playing a lot of hog throughout this series. It wouldn't be a surprise to see them pull out that hog on Ilios well, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here as we're about to head into our 5th map. Now, keep in mind, after the broadcast, we're going to be showing, I might as well mention it now because we're probably going to be sending off the air soon. After the broadcast, we will be showing our weekly feature of the Beat Drop hosted by Mr. Yeti, and this week, Seraph is helping him out with the interview. Seraph, definitely a good one. And you also love who's also on the show this week, Capital, Nova.
Yeah, I love Seraph, I love Nova, and I love Concept. I love all of them. Yeah, I mean, Oreo, Beat Drop is great. I don't know how you sign up so far. Do you remember how to sign up, Nosy?
Yes, there is a form over in live content discussion that you can fill out to be part of the Beat Drop. They are still looking for people to interview. So if you are a part of a Tranquility Gaming team and you want to be you want to let the community know who you are, want to talk about Overwatch, want to talk about Tranquility Gaming in general, please sign up for the forum. We are looking for people to interview. And now with Stoicism back, we have known our 5th map of the series. And no surprise, Capital, you predicted it. Oreo Fleet are going to Ilios.
Yeah, I mean, I think it plays to the strengths of Jungkook and Concept and Blinded. Blinded can really get put on that Widowmaker on Ruins. Concept, Trace, it's a really, really good Tracer map. And also a really good Hanzo map. And then I think Jungkook can play that hog right there. Cool Steve, more story man. I haven't seen much Ana from either team, so I mean I don't really like Ana on that map. So I kind of want to see how it works out here. I really think either team can win, but who would you have your money on if you were a betting man?
Honestly, it's going to be hard because Ilios, obviously, they have a very brawl-heavy map, which is Ilios Lighthouse. You have Ilios Well, where literally anything can work, and you have Ilios Ruins, which can have that sort of 6-man dive or brawl. But I have to give my favor here right now to Oreo Fleet, because Oreo Fleet have been better on the control maps. Like, yes, Mecha Base was close, but remember, they 100-0'd Hammerhead on Busan Sanctuary, so I think they are the favored one in this match. But we're going to be seeing how good they are right now, as right now it's starting off on Ilios Lighthouse with some very interesting comps on both sides.
Yeah, I think Lighthouse is the most coin flippy one. I think this is the most important for both teams coming into here, and I think I would take Hammerhead because they just won that last map. I'm in for the upset. I love you, Concept, but I think Hammerhead is going to pull this out with huge upset 3-2.
All right, well, we'll see. Hammerhead running out on the Brawl composition. Oreo Fleet running with their Hog Sigma composition. We'll see which one gets the better of it. Also, take note of McLovin playing the Doomfist here, allowing for those dives. So we'll see what the move is here. As right now, Hammerhead just make their way straight to the point. They see the Echo of Concept in the sky, and APG almost eliminates them immediately. That could have been bad here from the side of Oreo Fleet, but still the push is coming in thus far, and you see the push is coming in. Yummy Max able to get that first kill on the Jungkook. McLovin dies to Blinded, so now it's an even trade here for both teams as Hammer trying to make their way back to the point, but Cool Steve finds Stoicism, and Geomancer starts to get the kills. The cap will go in favor here of the side of Hammerhead, but it's not going to be for long as Oreo Fleet have the pick advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this early cap is pretty important. Let's get them at least 10%, and that doesn't go towards Oreo Fleet. McLovin is switching to the 6-man now. Really can expose this Hog, can expose this Sigma. This Echo Mercy is going to have to get a lot of value in a short amount of time. I think it's a really great switch, and it's a really quick switch. I enjoy that a lot. But I really think this first fight win is so important in control, and Oreo Fleet putting that up on this most important map, in my opinion, really puts them in a great position already.
Definitely, but that's a big hack from McLovin onto Jungkook. No self-heal available for that Roadhog. Big move there from Hammerhead. Just quick engagement, quick movement, and quick stepping onto the point. They will be getting that cap here. Hammerhead looking pretty strong as APG finishes out Concept, and the rest of the kills go in favor of Hammerhead.
I love Blinded's aim. It's so smooth. Like, it's so nice to watch. It's like satisfying, and I mean, the biggest thing here is that there's such a quick swap to Hammerhead, and even in this like stally fight, Hammerhead has the point control. So, and it's, the EMP charge is getting built up as well. So, Cool Steve not going to be able to stand out for next fight. Concept going to be able to de-mech Killjoy, but again, messy fights, but it does benefit the 6-man in my opinion.
Definitely, and also a big swap here from Jungkook, switching off the Roadhog and onto the Wrecking Ball, which you would think in comp, why are you running the Wrecking Ball into a Sombra? But obviously it enables his composition and also allows for boops like that. Just gets Killjoy right off the map here, so Oreo Fleet already in an advantage here. The Deadeye invested here from Blind is unable to get anything, but Jungkook has already found 2 in this fight. The duplicate is used here from Concept, and now Oreo Fleet start making their way back over to the point here. Hammerhead, unfortunately, will be losing the point. That's going to be another flip here. Now Oreo Fleet start taking up their position once more.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is 25% to 61% right now. I mean, the biggest, like, Hammerhead is doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're controlling point. They get that first pick a lot of that time. Now they're coming in with this EMP, which will be super, super important at least to shut down the Sigma ultimate. I think they should rush the point, and then as Sigma uses ult, they counter EMP to cancel that, and then looking to take a brawl. That's what I would do, but let's see what Hammerhead does here to regain this point. They've only won 1 of the 3 fights, but are still up by 20%.
Oh, McLovin's EMP was canceled by Blinded. No, it's Mr. Oldman on the Brigada who canceled the EMP from McLovin. Massive play. Massive coming out from Oreo Fleet. You do not see canceled EMPs that often. Still, however, Killjoy a favor. Killjoy gets the kill on the Cool Steve, and APG gets the kill on the Jungkook. Hammerhead somehow losing that EMP. They still win the fight, which is crucial.
Yeah, and again, Oreo Fleet isn't dying on point. They could have added 10%. They've missed out on about 30% now because they've been letting it be switched mid-fight. Geomancer now switching over to this D.Va. They're switching over to more of a divey comp. But Blinded again, Blinded has been playing great. Mr. Oreo now with that stun. Both these teams are playing amazing, and that was a huge purple to start off that match as well. First quick points.
Yeah, big anti coming out there from Cool Steve, but it won't really turn the tide. McLovin and APG have already found Blinded and Concept respectively, and once again, Oreo Fleet starting to struggle a little bit. Now it's 94% for them. They got to try to get onto this point to try and contest this.
Yeah, but they're coming into this Death Blossom from APG, and Jungkook, after getting hacked there, does not have the ability to use the mines, and yeah, what a huge Beat and Reaper ult combo.
Yeah, Beat Blossom is there. APG gets that kill on the concept, and Stoicism will get the final kill here on the Blinded. And Hammerhead win here on Ilios Lighthouse. Now it's do or die for Oreo Fleet on Ilios Well or Ilios Ruins.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ilios Ruins and Ilios Well definitely can be won, though, by Oreo Fleet. Oreo Fleet can take advantage of those long sidelines, play towards that Widow Blinded on the Ruins, and then on this Well, they can play this Hog, which Jungkook has been pretty stellar on. But again, this 6-man easily counter to this. Concept now going to be on this Pharah, maybe, and this would be a great way to provide a lot of spam to the 6-man, but they have to find a way to survive while Pharah gets value.
Definitely, and you already see right now Jungkook switching over to the Roadhog. It'll be interesting to see if Geomancer switches over to the Sigma or stays on the D.Va here. So, obviously the D.Va can provide a lot more support here, can allow for those each just in case of Zafara. Right now you see Hammerhead sticking to this 6-man dive composition, shadow dive, graveyard comp, zombie comp, whatever you call it, and they want to take control of this cage, which means that they have that health pack control, but now they see Concept on this Pharah, and now they have a problem. Someone's got to try to deal with this Pharah who's going to be raining rockets from above.
Yeah, I mean,
they're able to do it, and already you see McLovin has died. That's not a good start here.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it looks broke now after that pick from Jungkook. I mean, they want to be taking control of this, but I think they went a bit too aggressive off the beginning. You want to play for that point to unlock, and then look to dive onto that Pharah with that D.Va. But didn't really play slow enough there, which is a bit weird. But the patience really needs to come in here against this Pharah, and need to be super decisive. But I mean, Well is the map that, or at least the point that Oreo Fleet should win, and here's a great start.
Well, here's the thing. This composition could just continue fighting forever and ever. That's the thing about this comp. It's a graveyard composition, and it always comes back to the dead when it matters the most. Hammerhead win the fight, and they start ticking up the percentage.
Yeah, I feel like I cast a curse there again.
Maybe.
I mean,
you a little too soon on the call there.
Yeah, but I mean, Blinded built up this Pulse Bomb. They still have a way to get into this, but already this D.Va Bomb is built up at 15%. Wow, what a great D.Va Bomb build up from Killjoy there.
Oh, big hook coming in from Jungkook. Almost gets the kill on the Yummy Mac. That could have been definitely turning the tide there for the side of Oreo Fleet. Blinded looking for the perfect Pulse Bomb as well, so to see if we're able to hit it. Lobs the Pulse Bomb in, doesn't get any stuck targets, and is unable to get any sort of kills with it. As Oreo Fleet try to plan their engage here right now, but Geomancer is currently hacked on that D.Va. See if it makes any sort of difference as now Oreo Fleet start making the engage here. Concept tries to fly out of there on the far end, just barely able to let those rockets fly, and is trying to get the kills he can. Oh, but he gets hacked by McLovin. Massive hack coming out for McLovin. Gets the kill on the Concept, and now Oreo Fleet down one of their main damage dealers here. This might be a reset here for Oreo Fleet, but they still look like they want to invest. The res comes out here from Mr. Oreo Man. APG chasing down this Roadhog of Jungkook, and here comes the barrage from Concept. Gets slept. APG with the Death Blossom in the back line gets 2, and now Oreo Fleet looking very dire here. It's going to be a one fight once again for Hammerhead, and now look at the percentage. It's already 64%.
Yeah, this fight, and they get the remake kill on Stoicism, which is a huge pick onto this Moira. Yummy coming up with this beat to maybe sustain this Jungkook and then hack out of this Hog ult. Super important here, but look at, they have EMP, and there it is. Yeah, everything's being used, and it is coming into last fight territory.
Yeah, and that's already a big boot from the rower, taking off Geomancer off the map. The D.Va is now out of the picture, and now Hammerhead just cleaning up the rest of these fights. It's going to be last fight territory here soon for Oreo Fleet, and really, it's just been a stagger. They've been looking for the opportunities to push in this fight, but they can't really make it work. But now, Jungkook getting the kill on APG. All that's left is this D.Va of Killjoy and the Lucio player of Yummy Mac. Killjoy almost goes for a dip down into the well, but now it's overtime pretty much here for Oreo Fleet to try and win this. Killjoy gets killed down, trying to use that bomb. That's a massive hack from McLovin! Concept goes straight down under into the well. Big hack coming out. Blinded almost gets moved up, but is barely able to stay alive. Hammerhead trying to bring this back into their favor. Blinded gets the kill on ABG, but gets killed by the rower, and Hammerhead might be able to do it here in the last minute desperation. Looks like they will be able to. The final kill's going to the favor. Geomancer gets killed here. Cool Steve is all that's left here for the side of Oreo Fleet. They're trying to complete this point as much as possible, try to bring it back. The nano boost goes onto the Hog, and Concept gets that barrage kill into 2. It's still winnable. The EMP comes out from McLovin. Oh, this is the point! Hammerhead somehow are able to force Oreo Fleet off the point in the most desperate move, and the Sharks in the water get the C9 to finish out the series, and Hammerhead get their first win, and Oreo Fleet get their first loss.
Yeah, what an amazing match. Honestly, this was crazy. I enjoyed this way too much. Both teams looked great. Both teams should be happy with how they played because it was really good. Killjoy really coming up big into that diva at the end. Concept on that fair really showed the prowess, but this zombie cop just kept coming back over and over again, rising from the dead, like you said, just to get those kills on to Mr. Oreo Man and Cool Steve, who Mr. Oreo Man is supposed to be getting those reses. But I mean, the respawn timers really came to the thing, and the fights were messy, which 6-man loves, which Reaper loves. And this fair just couldn't pick them apart. Those hacks from McLovin were great. That felt like a lot longer than 7 minutes.
Yeah, that definitely felt a lot longer, and what a way for Hammerhead somehow to bring this back. After being 0-3, coming into this match against one of the top seeds in Indigo B, and being able to beat them out of all ways because Oreo Fleet weren't on the point, incredible. And honestly, Hammerhead being able to take advantage of a composition that never dies. They were just able to keep bringing it back, and at the end of the day, Hammerhead take an upset victory. As you said earlier, welcome to March Madness.
Yeah,
This is literally March Madness, and all of our predictions are dead. All the money has been lost, and somehow, some way, the upset coming into this match, the team that nobody thought would win gets the victory in a crucial moment. Well done to Hammerhead to be able to contend with the top dogs all season and finally show that they are a threat in the waters here. But now, Capital, after such an amazing series and such an amazing way to end it, we have to choose a player of the match here. And I think it's going to be hard because Hammerhead did super well here.
I have to go McLovin. I mean, the hack on the Farah into the well, the picks on Havana, the picks on Hollywood. McLovin really turned it on, really stepped up, and I mean, looked great. I'd have to go McLovin. Killjoy really stepped up on that last map. Yeah, I mean, wow. I'm like, I don't know if you can like tell, but I didn't even know what to say. It was such a great map.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm still recovering from that C9.
Wow.
I have never seen that happen in a map 5 situation in my casting career. So that obviously is such a big thing. And honestly, for a player of the match, I would give it to McLovin, but I don't want to double down. Obviously, McLovin did awesome. But I'm going to give it to APG, because he did really well alongside McLovin. This DPS duo from Hammerhead is scary. It's super scary. APG showing that they are not meant to be messed with. They can hit those shots when it matters. And yes, they did get an EMP stunned out of them, but they were still able to bring it back in the fight there for the side of Hammerhead. I'm giving my player of the match to APG, who did get that play of the game on Havana. So definitely Hammerhead showing that they are willing to contend here. They have been that 0-3 just because they couldn't finish it out when it mattered the most. And overall, great season thus far for Hammerhead. Oreo Fleet, obviously a big loss, and it's going to be hard going into next week, but anything can happen. They could take that victory over Space Created. Now, of course, before we end, we have to, of course, mention after the broadcast, stick around because we are going to be showing off this week's edition of the Beat Drop, starring Mr. Yeti and Seraph, with interviewees Nova from SEAL Team Spuds, Twist from Joey Esports, Jonesy from Galactic Penguins, and JMX from Valkyrie this week. You do not want to miss the Beat Drop. And also, as a notice, because this was recently just announced in the Tranquility server, this week, we are starting free shipping for the Tranquility Store. So if you want to get any of your merchandise from the Tranquility Store, your t-shirts, your stickers, your sweatshirts, any of the sort, go to shop.spreadshirt.com/OWTranquility. NPC will probably post the link in the chat before I actually said that. But still, go to the store and pick up your merchandise. Everything is free for shipping. You do not want to miss out on that deal. But it's been a great series. It's the cast here, Capital, and honestly, this has been an amazing series.
Yeah, honestly, super fun casting you, Bowsy. You had a lot of fun. You know, I've seen the casting you've done. It's been great. Now I get to experience to do it with you. I'm excited to cast more because of you now. It's so fun. This is a 200 words per minute cast. Maybe put it in half speed when you rewatch it because, holy, we talk fast. I mean, from Boston, you're in college there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you're expecting, but yeah, I mean, Oreo Fleet, Hammerhead Esports, really that naval battle, that's exactly what we wanted. Oreo Fleet really gonna need some bigger boats though, coming into next week with Space Traded. But I mean, yeah, those are my closing words. I have nothing else to say. That was bonkers. yeah, I mean, please talk about it on the IRS podcast because how crazy that match was. Holy, like, wow.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Definitely. And also, yes, you can tell college student based on every furniture item in this room being orange, as Con mentioned in the chat earlier. But that is going to do it for us today. For everybody else, for everybody here in the production, including my amazing co-caster, Capital, and our amazing producer, Laggy's son, this Boston-based crew would like to wish you an amazing night. We hope you enjoy the beat drop later today. Until we meet again, we hope you have an amazing night.